From Castleton Hill Moravian Church in Staten Island. This is Desert and Mountain. If you're in the Staten Island area, we'd love to meet you in person. 1657 Victory Boulevard. We gather every Sunday at 10 a.m. And whether you've been in church your whole life or you're just exploring, you're welcome. No pressure. Just come as you are. Okay, so imagine this. You're walking down a road completely lost in your thoughts, trying to make sense of something that's just shattered your world. And then someone joins you. But you don't even realize it's the one person who could change everything.
Oh, I know where you're going with this. The road to Emmaus, right?
Exactly. It's one of those stories that feels so ordinary at first, just two people walking and talking, but it's actually packed with so much depth.
It really is. There's disappointment, confusion, hope, and then that incredible moment of recognition. It's like a whole journey of faith condensed into just a few verses.
And what's so fascinating is how relatable it is. These two disciples are walking away from Jerusalem, away from everything they thought they knew, and they're just trying to process it all.
That line they say, "We had hoped," it's so raw. It's like you can feel the weight of their disappointment in those three words.
Absolutely. It's such an honest expression of loss. They had pinned all their hopes on Jesus, believing he was the one to redeem Israel, and now in their minds that hope is gone.
And then, in the middle of all that, Jesus shows up.
Yes, he just joins them on the road like it's the most natural thing in the world,
And then he asks them what they're talking about, which is kind of funny when you think about it.
right? It's like, have you been living under a rock? This is the biggest news in Jerusalem right now.
Exactly. But what I love about that moment is how it shows Jesus meeting them where they are. He doesn't come in with a grand reveal. He starts by asking questions, by engaging with what's on their hearts.
That's such a good point. He's drawing them into a deeper conversation, helping them process what they're feeling,
And then he starts unpacking the scriptures for them, showing them how everything points to him.
which is fascinating because they're hearing all this truth, but they still don't recognize him.
Right. And I think that's such a powerful reminder. You can be close to Jesus, even walking right beside him, and still not see him for who he is.
That's such a profound thought, especially in those moments of disappointment or confusion. It's so easy to miss the ways God is already present with us.
Exactly. And then we get to that pivotal moment at the table.
Oh, the breaking of the bread. That's where everything changes.
Yes. It's such a beautiful sacramental moment. He takes the bread, blesses it, breaks it, and suddenly their eyes are opened.
And then he disappears.
Of course he does.
It's like, okay, now that you've seen me, my work here is done.
Exactly. And then they say that incredible line, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he talked with us on the road and opened the scriptures to us?"
That line gives me chills every time. It's such a vivid description of what it feels like to encounter the risen Christ.
It really is. And I love how it ties into what the Moravians call heart religion.
Oh, I love that term. It's about faith that moves from the head to the heart, not just knowing about God, but experiencing Him in a way that transforms you.
Exactly. And for Anglicans, it's that idea of encountering Christ through word and table. This story brings both of those elements together so beautifully.
It really does. And it makes me wonder, how often do we miss the ways Christ is walking with us because we're too caught up in our own disappointment or confusion?
That's such a good question. I think it's easy to get so focused on what we think God should be doing that we miss what He's actually doing.
Right. And then there's the question of those moments when our hearts are stirring, but we don't realize why until later.
Those moments are so powerful, aren't they? It's like something deep inside. You knows that God is at work, even if your mind hasn't caught up yet.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about this story. It reminds us that even when we feel like we're walking away from the story is walking with us.
That's such a profound way to put it.
Thanks. I think it's such a hopeful message, especially for anyone who feels like they're in a season of doubt or disappointment,
Absolutely. It's a reminder that God is always with us, even when we don't recognize Him.
and that He's always inviting us to see Him more clearly, to move from head knowledge to heart knowledge, from doubt to faith.
So maybe the question for all of us this week is, where might Christ already be walking with us? And we just haven't noticed.
And when have our hearts been stirring, even if we didn't realize why at the time?
Those are such important questions to sit with.
They really are. And I think the beauty of this story is that it doesn't give us all the answers, it invites us into the mystery.
Exactly. Faith isn't about having everything figured out. It's about walking the road, asking the questions, and being open to the ways God reveals Himself along the way.
Amen to that.
Amen. And may the risen Christ who walked beside His disciples walk with all of us this week, in our journeys, our questions, and our awakenings.
That's a beautiful blessing.
Thanks. I think it's one we all need to hear.
Definitely. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap up for today.
Agreed. Until next time.
See you then.